So I've been looking forward to this one here. We finally have the results of the Fragrantica Reader's Choice Fragrance Awards. Now this is something that they do every year. I can't remember if I did a video on it last year, but I definitely wanted to cover it this time around. So they have different categories. Best men's fragrances, best women's fragrances. They have different categories like best niche fragrances in the USA and these other countries and stuff like that. They have a whole bunch of different stuff you can look at. Today we're focusing on one that is the most relevant to this channel, the best men's fragrances according to the voters. So one thing that's important to note is that this isn't all new releases. Like, it's not the best releases of 2021. It's just the best fragrances of 2021. Ironically, most of these are new releases, but there are a couple that were released last year. So I just wanted to throw that out there as well. If you see some stuff that came out in 2020 and you're a little bit confused, that's the rundown. But yeah, you guys were able to vote. You could upvote, you could downvote. A lot of these were really close. A lot of these fragrances got a lot of downvotes, but yet they were still able to make it out on top. We've got the top 10 here according to the readers, the voters, and the supporters of the fragrance community. I will link all of these down below so you can pick them up for yourself. They all are available here for the most part. So if you have any sort of interest in these, you know where to find them. Also, there's a link to the FragranceNet 35% off code down there. You can click that at any time and it will always automatically apply the current best discount that they are running. And one more thing, I did launch a sample set with Twisted Lily. I handpicked 5 niche fragrances that are fresher to help get you through wintertime. It's currently about 8 or 10 degrees outside at the time of me filming this. I'm over it already. Maybe you are as well. And so I picked some freshies, some scents that are bright, uplifting, and rejuvenating. They're all sample sizes. They're all in a bundle for $25. There is one mystery fragrance, so you can see which 4 are included, and then the 5th one is a surprise. It's only $25 to sample all of those incredible fragrances, and you can also use my code CHAOS10 to get an additional 10% off that $25, and that code does work site-wide as well. Very cool opportunity. It was awesome to work with Twisted Lily like always. They're great people, great company. They have some of the best selections on niche fragrances for men and women, and if you want to get a little bit fancy, you want to sample some stuff and not spend a lot of money at all, $25 to sample like $1,000 worth of fragrances, that sounds like a steal to me. Check that out. Now let's get into this final. So first up we have number 10, Interlude Black Iris, the men's release that did come out 2020, right? I think this one was last year's release, although I guess I could be wrong, or I guess 2 years ago, because it's now 2022. That's weird. So I wasn't expecting to feel this way about this fragrance, but I like it better than the original Interlude, which I already really like a lot. This one here has the addition of a nice iris. It's got more of a creaminess, a smooth smell. It's a bit more approachable, a bit more wearable. I think this is a great release. It's cool to see it making it in this video because it's competing with extremely popular designer brands here. Now, if you do want to buy this one, Twisted Lily does have it. While you're picking up that sample set, throw this in as well. CHAOS10, 10% off. You know the deal. So the number 9 voted fragrance is another 2020 release. So again, it feels weird saying this, but 2 years ago, maybe not fully, but if you're going by 2020 to 2021 to 2022, that's 2 years. ADG Profondo. It's got mineral notes, orange, aquatic notes. Oh man, it's so good. So it's cool that this is still making it in a video like this and it's still ranking high, even though it's not the new kid on the block anymore. It's the newest from the line, but still not brand new. I think it's great stuff. You guys know my thoughts on Profondo. No stranger here to the channel. If you are after a unique summertime scent, this is one of the best, hands down. So at number 8 here, we have Emporio Armani, Stronger With You, absolutely. So for me, yeah, the best of the line for sure. I think this one is really nice. It's more rich. It has more strength, more power, more performance over the EDT and the EDP Intensely version. There's a tiny bit of a booziness here. They do bring back the chestnut note or accord. I just think this one is the most well-rounded, the most polished. Now, unfortunately, this is one which, for whatever reason, is just kind of a little bit hard to pick up here in the US. I'm not really sure why that is. We have the new Eros Parfum, which is not in this video, but it's brand new and it's already on FragranceNet, and yet this you can't even buy at retailers. I don't know what's going on, but at number 8 here, solid, well-deserved, great release. At number 7, we have Kilian's Angel's Share, or Angel's Share. So it's what Kilian does best. A boozy, sexy, just addicting fragrance. There's a little bit of this spicy cinnamon kick, a nice rum accord, boozy, sweet, syrupy. This is just divine. It's so sexy, so smooth, so well-rounded. I'm a big fan of fragrances like this. That's a big reason why I love the brand of Kilian so much. They put out some amazing stuff. Everything from Straight to Heaven to Apple Brandy on the Rocks, which I'm kind of surprised didn't make it in this video. You know, they've got Black Phantom, they have Intoxicated. There's so much greatness in that line. And these here are a bit more on the affordable side, a little bit. They have a really cool look to them, just kind of looking like a whiskey glass. This one especially with the coloration there. And of course, based off the drink. An amazing scent here. Very well deserved. I'm happy to see it. Awesome stuff. At number 6, I guess it could be a niche fragrance, but a lot of people are kind of up in the air on it, so we'll just go with it. It's a fragrance from Guerlain. Yep, and this is L'Homme Ideal Extreme, niche designer, whatever. Could be the 3rd niche fragrance in here if you roll that way. This is amazing. I have to spray this one. Like, words can't describe this stuff. They can't. It sucks because this is also a little bit tricky to get here in the US. It was in stock on discounters for a while. It went out. It's just hard to get. Same with the EDP, same with Cool. I don't know what's going on there, but it's got tobacco, it's got plum, it has almond. It is so, so good. Such a nice mixture. It you know, retains that almond signature accord that's known throughout the line, but then it adds this fruity plum, this nice red pipe tobacco that's not too overbearing. This is an incredible composition, very well deserved. I would have liked to see it a little bit higher, but still, I'm glad it's here. So breaking into the top 5, we have Ombre Leather Parfum. So this was a little bit of a shock. I didn't feel like this got a whole lot of hype, attention when it first launched. You know, I think maybe people are just happy with the original Ombre Leather and they don't really want a Parfum. You know, and to be fair, there's not a whole lot of a difference between the two, okay? There's a little bit, but what's weird is that the Parfum almost has a tiny bit more of a freshness up top, but also, let me spray it again. It's been actually a while since I've smelled it, so this is kind of a cool revisit. Freshness up top, like almost a little bit more than the original, but there's also this kind of underlying creaminess that is not quite as present in the original. So it's a weird balance. It's definitely a different take on the original here. Again, it was a shock for me, but I am partial to this DNA. I love it. So it's cool to see it at number 5. So at number 4, we have a fragrance that I actually don't have, unfortunately. Haven't covered it, haven't picked it up. I'm going to after this. I apologize if you care to see me talk about this one, but at number 4, again, it's Dior Homme Original. Yeah, I got that right. Dior Homme Original. It's their re-release of Dior Homme, I guess the iris-based version, since Dior Homme 2020 was the opposite of that. So they revived this one. I was going to pull it off the shelf back there, but it's buried behind all my other Dior Hommes. They're kind of awkward to stack, so I'm not going to do it. But yeah, it's the iris version. Unfortunately, I don't have it, haven't smelled it. I don't know how it compares to the original Dior Homme, but I would imagine it's pretty close. Cool to see. Another one that's a bit of a shock because I also feel like it didn't get a whole bunch of hype, but I guess the OG true hardcore Dior Homme lovers voted that one to the heavens. So that's cool to see. Dior Homme Original, I'm down for it. At number 3, no shock, and it's kind of redundant. This one's been spoken about ad nauseum. I've talked about it a lot because I truly believe in it, but you know, you're gonna have to see it again. Bleu Electrique, no shock. Surprised it didn't get to number 2 or number 1, but I think it's really solid here at number 3. It's so cool, man. It's bringing that original La Nuit de l'Homme DNA back to life, which I have a lot of love, a lot of passion for. That DNA really kind of showed me what fragrances were all about. It showed me that there's variety. It shows me that there's things that can sweep me off my feet and blow my mind. And so to see that DNA get brought back to life with a little bit of a modern twist, kind of refreshed, is very cool. I love to see that. I love this fragrance. Number 3, awesome. And number 2, one that's also maybe a little bit shocking to me. I would have definitely guessed that it would make it within this top 10. But at number 2, it's impressive. That's Le Parfum by Jean Paul Gaultier. It's got vanilla, spices, cardamom, so it's oriental, it's sweet. It also has that original lavender, Le Male DNA. It's kind of like a hybrid of Ultra Male and the original with oriental notes thrown in, that cardamom spiciness. It smells fantastic. I'm a big fan. I've been a big fan of this one ever since it first dropped. It was one that was maybe a little bit, not divisive, but I just felt like there wasn't quite the passion behind it from the viewers, like maybe some other stuff in here, but it still did very well, clearly. I think it's a great fragrance. You know, it's one that is a bit more approachable than Ultra Male because that one is so sweet. This one adds more balance. It's, you know, just a bit more refined. And number 1, another one that's not a surprise, but is just crazy to me. It's Sauvage Elixir, the newest one here. It's got sandalwood, licorice. It is just a ultimately very refined, mature Sauvage experience. You know, it takes away all that metallic notes, the ambroxan, the bergamot, Sichuan pepper, all of that is gone. It's nowhere to be found. You get the sweetness from the licorice. You get this nice creaminess from the sandalwood. Kind of smells like a CEO, pressurized atomizer, of course. That's really what it is, though. You know, it's a very refined, masculine, mature gentleman's smell, but it really does throw you off. And I've talked about this before, but if you were to do an experiment, take someone who has never smelled Sauvage before at all, you give them the EDT, have them smell it, and, you know, maybe spend a second with it, smell it, wear it, whatever, and then you hand them Elixir and have them smell it. I would say a lot of people who don't have experience with the line would be like, wait, these are related somehow? This is a flanker of this? You know, they would be confused. But once you go through the progression, you go through the stages of, you start with the EDT, then you go to the EDP, then you go to the Parfum, and then you finally arrive at the Elixir, I think then you have an understanding for it. But to go from one to the other, it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. There is a progression here. This is even more refined, even more mature than the Parfum, and that one already took that to the next level. I think this is a really, really cool scent, very well done. Definitely one that is a little bit heftier in terms of its price, so I would say most people wouldn't want to daily drive this one. $155 for 60 mil, that's pricey. But, you know, if you have the means to do it, and you like it, by all means go for it. But definitely a more pricey option. Discounters will help that a little bit, but not a whole lot. Dior's usually aren't knocked down that much. Alrighty guys, there you have it. That is the Fragrantica Reader's Choice 2021 Men's Fragrance Awards. Got a nice mix in here, some from 2020, which was cool. But again, most were 2021's releases. So what do you think of this final list here? Were you rooting for any of these in particular? Were you downvoting them? Were you making a bunch of accounts to downvote fragrances that you hate with a passion, like some people out there do with Fragrantica reviews? Let me know. Or don't. You don't have to own up to that. Probably just keep that to yourself. But in all seriousness, though, it's always fun to see how this pans out. I'm pretty happy with this. I like all of these here a lot, actually. Are there some that I wish would have gotten put in instead? Maybe. Are there some that I wish would have been up higher? Maybe. Would I have taken some of the higher ones down a little bit? Maybe a little, but all in all, this I think is a pretty solid order here. And for men's fragrances, I think these all have a lot to offer. Remember, I will link all these down below, along with that FragranceNet 35% off code. It's always in my videos. You can just find that super easily if you're ever going to make a purchase to guarantee you get the best deal. Also, Twisted Lily sample set, Chaos 10 for 10% off on that. It will be linked down below if you want to sample some cool stuff at a very low price. Make sure you do that. It's not going to stay up forever. Once it's sold out, it's sold out. So make sure you jump on that soon. Yeah, I think that's all for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.